When Meg's speaking about Melissa, she's saying, oh, she's brave, and then she says to her, oh, you're lucky he rejected you, you're lucky. What exactly is she going to do? What the fuck is she going to do? I'll tell you what she's going to do. Fuck all. Fuck all. Because if she turned around and says to her, you're lucky that happened in the villa, or you're lucky you're in the villa, she'd get chucked out for threatening her. So why is she talking shit? Love Island UK episode 7. Yeah, she heard that right. Episode 7. So why is Meg acting as if her and Dijon have been together for months? It's quite bizarre. Obviously, I don't know how she's feeling, but in the beginning I said she's not acting as if she likes him, she's got a face on her as if she's not happy. But some people have just got a face like that, and that's all fine and well. But she's literally acting as if they're engaged. When the boys came back for their dates, she pulled Dijon for a chat, and obviously she wasn't happy. She was embarrassed at the way he was acting, and she says, oh, when you were talking to the boys, you were all about me, but then when you were with her, you were a completely different person. Aye, okay, she's allowed to be upset, nobody's saying that she's not. But she's took things way too far. And there's so many people online saying, oh, I'm team Meg, I'm team Melissa. I'm nobody's team, right, because I'm not a child. This is real people with real emotions. And both of the girls are in the right and they're in the wrong. But she's just literally blew things way out of proportion. And Dijon's like, oh, everything was going well. And then when I came back, she overreacted. And now he's feeling like he's wanting to take a step back. Understandable in my opinion. But also I understand why she's upset because of the things that he was saying. And when he was saying to Melissa, oh, I like what I see and all that, obviously she's got to be embarrassed. But what I really didn't like was when Melissa was talking to Dijon and they were talking about that club that they go to, Tape. And she went, oh, he was talking to me about Tape. Is that what they do, go to Tape? Boring, right? Like a pure snidey bitch. So Melissa was like, what did you say? And then she said the phrase that I fucking can't stand. Like, see when people say it, I just want to walk away from them. And she says, oh, I was talking about Tape. I said it with my chest. Except she didn't say it with her chest, did she? Aye, she did say that they had spoke about Tape, but she didn't say it was born. She didn't finish the sentence. So what the fuck's she saying with her chest? The next morning, her and Melissa went for a chat, and Melissa was like, look, I'm sorry for shouting at you last night. I don't think she should have apologised. She was the one over in the kitchen trying to be a smart arse. Aye, okay, her feelings were hurt, right? But it's the way she was trying to talk loud, but without really being heard, and then being like, oh, I said it with my chest. Fuck up. Absolutely fuck up. The whole thing was ridiculous. I realise that I'm being a bit biased here because in day one, she made a comment about Ben being a taxi driver, and I don't even fucking like Ben. I don't like Ben whatsoever. But when she made a comment about somebody's job, I didn't like it. Because I thought, why does it matter what somebody's job is? The guy's got a job. Do you know what I mean? And I just thought it was really stuck up and nasty. And there's been another couple of comments that she's made that I've not really liked. Now, I don't not like her as a person, right? I actually think she's alright. But I seen another video and somebody said, I don't know what the expression was that they used, but basically she's doing things to try and become a meme or to try and get clips. And ever since I've seen that, that's all I keep thinking now. So that night when they were out in the garden, Meg was like, oh, she better not pull him for a chat before me. Well, fucking get up off your ass and go and ask him to go for a fucking chat then. It's not a bombshell's job to sit and go, oh, she's not spoke to him, I'll just wait my turn. Fuck that. She's there to do a job, right? I do agree that her asking him to go to the hideaway was a bit much. But he said no and he was trying to be respectful. So they went up to the terrace, which, let's face it, isn't that much better. But they didn't want to be in prying eyes. So Meg was fucking raging. She decides to go up to the terrace. Big mistake, right? Dijon's just trying to be like, I don't want her to overreact. He's already says to that he thought she overreacted. And then she came up and she was like, oh, I don't want to disturb it. Can we chat? So Melissa was like, cool, right. She went down to talk to everybody else. And then they two were having a talk. And he was still saying to her, oh, you're my number one, blah, 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 right? The shite that the men talk. And when they came back down, she was raging and she went and spoke to Melissa. And she's like, you apologised to me this morning for what you said. And Melissa was like, no, I apologised because I shouted at you. And she says, oh, you shouted at me while you were with my man? And Melissa's like, it's been a couple of days. Calm down. Calm the fuck down. I swear to God. I know I say it every time when you're in there, time passes differently. And a day's like a week, right? I understand that. And I don't think that Meg is completely in the wrong here. But I also think that Melissa's got a point. Like, fucking chill out. He isn't even, like, closed off or anything. So the girls walked away from each other and she was like, oh, you're lucky he rejected you. What the fuck are you going to do on national television if he didn't reject her? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Are you going to slap her in the face? No, because you'll get done with assault. Are you going to punch her? No, because you'll get done with assault. Are you going to push her into the pool? No, because you'll get done with assault. So, stop saying that. Stop saying it. It doesn't make any sense. And if you were going to say that, you could say, oh, you're lucky that this happened in the villa, or I would do this. But then you can't say that because then you'd get done with threatening somebody. So you're probably better off just not saying anything. I really wanted Melissa to just turn around and say, oh, I'm lucky. Why? What you got to do? What's your plans? Tell me what your plan of action is. Babe. I know it's really sounding as if I'm at Team Melissa here, right? I'm not. I just think that Meg has been nasty from the start and she has taken things a bit too far. But I understand that she's upset, so it's hard, like, I'm trying to be neutral, but at the same time, like, stop just being nasty for the sake of it. In other news, Harry is a skis bag bastard. I was surprised, no. He came back for his date, the boys were asking how the date was, and he was like, oh, it was fire, mate. How many women has he chatted up? How many times he says, oh, I would take your bikini off of my teeth or turn everything sexual? Even Helena says he turns every conversation sexual. And then when he says, oh, I've got my shit together. Where does he got his shit together? Meg says to him, you're a 30-year-old man and you're acting like this. And when he spoke to Helena, and it was the next day and she had the lipstick and that on, and he's like, oh, have you got your lippy on? And she says, oh, if this was outside I wouldn't put up with it, but obviously I'm into you. And, like, why? He doesn't deserve another chance. He's a total fucking skis bag. And when he said the other day that he get called the Grinch at school, I was like, that is a fucking insult to the Grinch. Who had the audacity to say that about the Grinch? And when he was on his date and he was even saying, oh, me and Shakira have got unfinished business, Shakira was like, how the fuck have they got unfinished business? He's the one who was lying in bed with Shakira and then he fucked off with another lassie. No business is unfinished, mate. Get to fuck. Him saying to the boys that he was worried that Helena was a good time girl when he says himself, oh, I've done worse. And he even says himself, oh, I've had 11 women on the go or whatever else fucking shite he talks. And then he's got a cheek to say something about her because she's had a threesome. The fucking audacity. The hypocrisy to men and women in this show absolutely drives me insane. Connor came back for his date. He was surprised that nobody was shouting at him. He was just trying to be respectful. Everybody's loving Emily. They're like, oh, she's so nice. She's the only person who's made a good impression. We didn't really see much for her because we didn't have much of the drama. And when they were on her date, she says to Connor, oh, will you bring me coffee? And he was like, oh, well, I took Tony coffee this morning, so, like, we'll need to see. And everybody's like, oh yeah, right. I think she's absolutely lovely. I've seen a few videos of people talking about Yasmin and saying, where does she get the confidence, thinking all the men fancy her. For all we know, she heard a conversation between the men and they were all saying how hot she was. We don't know, right? I'm all about people being confident. Be overconfident if you want. To say all the guys fancy it is a bit much. But if that's how she really feels, then okay. I suppose we'll see how many boys pull her for chats. When they were watching the dates at the start as well, Shakira says to Helena, oh, can I tell you something? Harry pulled me to the side and says that he thought we had unfinished business. And then later they seen him saying that in the dates. And I bet you she was standing thinking, oh, thank fuck I told her. But then she doesn't really owe Helena anything. She's the one who came and fucking snatched the man out of bed. Do you know what I mean? So it was nicer to even say anything to her. When Helena was talking to Harry and he says, oh, but if you can't continue, and she says, oh, I didn't say I couldn't continue. That was him telling you that he doesn't want to continue. But he's trying to put words into her mouth. He absolutely drives me insane. There's a guy for the UK who's just been voted out of Love Island USA, and I hope they bring him over and put him straight into this villa. Because then at least they'll have a half decent guy in there. Let me know what you thought of this episode. I wasn't trying to like totally attack Meg, right, but she's just needing to chill out. But let me know what you thought of last night's episode, and I'll see you again tonight. Bye!